If you're a totally obsessed adult club tennis player and you get stuck in the wrong spots, if you're hitting the wrong shots to the wrong spots, stay in the wrong places, and you want to learn how to fix your court position mistakes, truly fix them, then listen to this video because I'm going to explain to doubles players the 3 main mistakes that I see you making over and over again, the court position mistakes that's having you create a ton of unforced errors, cough up short balls, and just play ugly tennis without a rhythm, then this is the video for you to watch. How do I know this? Because you visit me all the time. I specialize in adult tennis players, 3-0 to 4-0. They come to Atlanta. We do a lot of doubles camps, a lot of technique camps, and this is what I see happening over and over again. So mistake number 1 happens in, and this is why it's called this, no man's land, all right? So many players who come visit, the goal for the weekend is, I just want to learn how to be in the right place at the right time and hit the right shot and not feel like I'm stuck and overwhelmed. Like, that's the goal for the weekend. And everybody already knows about secret no man's land. Everybody knows, like, I don't want to get stuck hitting there, yet it happens over and over again. When does it mostly happen? All right. So professional tennis players really don't have to worry about this scenario too much. Whoops, sorry about that. Let me just, where your opponent is serving, you're the returner. You're standing in here because the serve is very weak. The serve is very weak. Your partner's here and your other opponent's there. So what ends up happening is you get the serve in the box, you hit the return, and then what do? You just stand there. Or maybe you shuffle back to like a couple steps to right there, and then you get the ball hit right at your feet. Often, the crazy thing to me is you start like practicing shadow swings like it was your actual stroke techniques problems. Like, no, you gave yourself 0 chance to hit a good shot. You had no time. You took all the time away by not either doing 2 things. So what do you need to do when you're getting that weak serve coming in? Well, you've either got to hit it and get into the net, or you've got to get back. Okay? So, and here's something that I don't think that you understand and appreciate enough. Getting back doesn't mean this is you standing right on the line or just behind the line. You want to stand, in fact, this isn't big enough to really demonstrate. You want to stand far back enough to where you can take 1 to 2 healthy steps, like long strides into the ball, and still hit the ball out in front of the baseline. That's how much you need to retreat. And I was teaching somebody in a camp the other week, and they were struggling. They were just no rhythm. They had nice strokes because we just went through a basket of feeding, and they were standing right on the line. I'd say, hey, move back a little bit, move back. They'd move back like an inch. They didn't want to give up an inch. Like, well, if I move too far back, then, the balls always go too short. I'm like, well, I'm watching you play right now. The person is hitting the ball deep and you're still staying there. He's like, oh, okay. All right. I'll give it a try. Instantly, the player's hitting beautiful shots, feeling great. It went from painful to watch as a coach to enjoyable to watch. It was fun to watch. There was a rhythm, all the anxiety of me as a coach wanting my students to do well and just watching fun tennis. It went from being a disaster to a very pleasurable experience for the player and the coach. So remember that. That's one of the things that I see you do over and over again is off that return, you either stay right there or you just move back a little bit. You got to move further back. That's mistake number 1. Okay, now, mistake number 2 is that your partner's here, you are here, and let's say you decide to come on in. What you want to think about, this is a huge mistake. Instinctually, and maybe some coaching advice too, the better I see a student hit a shot, And the more the opponent is struggling to get to the ball, I see them run right in and they get right on top of the net and they're super excited. And it's like they're like jumping out of their seat. They can't wait. And then what ends up happening? They get lobbed very easily. So the better the shot, the more you have to hesitate about closing the net. And we don't do a good enough job as coaches telling the student that, because we're always yelling at coaches to close. Always yelling at students to close the net. But actually, the better the shot. So let's say I hit this return hard and way off the court, and this person's really struggling to get to the ball. I should actually probably get right to about right here. You should get right to right here, so that if you take a step or two back, you're covering lobs that get to right there. And if they cough up a short one, you can still close in and put the ball away. All right. So I call this line. Let me just show you guys this, because it happens on more than just the approach shot. You see right here, inside of here, all this area, I call it secret no man's land, because no one talks about it. It is no man's land. Just like in regular no man's land, you want to hit a ton of balls. These are hitting in no man's land. It's an opportunity to attack. So you want to hit a lot of shots in no man's land. You want to be standing hitting in no man's land, so then you can get into the net. Just like you want to be standing hitting balls right here, because now they're easy volleys, they're put away volleys. But if you don't put the ball away, you've got to get out of secret no man's land, and you've got to either move forward or backwards to get out of the regular no man's land. So that, again, is mistake number 2. All right. Mistake number 3 is when you are serving, okay? And your partner is up here, and here are your opponents. Again, it's serving and standing right where the S is, and then you get handcuffed with your shots. I think it takes about 2 shots to get in the position you want. It's hard, especially if you've got a good serve. You want to practice serving. If you're not serving volleying, you want to practice serving and getting at least on the line or a little behind the line. Hit that shot. If you're able to get a neutralizing shot cross court, then again, you need to make another step back. So it's a 2-phase process. You serve, you get back a little bit if you can get on the line or just behind the line, make the shot, and then take another 2 steps back to get into a comfortable rally zone to where you can start to really have time. Remember, taking that 1 to 2 big healthy steps towards the ball and still be able to keep it out in front. Now, I wish that this video was enough for you to actually go forth and do this. But you see, even after I give the information to the student, they still are making the mistake. How do I know this? Because I'm running the camps. I see it right in front. And by the way, if you want to come to one of my camps, send me an email to crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com. But what I see is that once they learn the aha moment, it's not correcting the mistake. Why? Because muscle memory is a real thing. And if you've developed this and you've done this wrong 10,000 times, me just telling you the right way to do it once is not, even if it sinks in mentally. That's one of my favorite lines from a movie called $1 Million Baby. The line is, you just can't tell a fighter to forget everything they know. You have to make them forget it in your bones. So what I have for you is, if you want, I've got a 3-day Move Like a Pro Footwork Challenge. It's going to help you automate your footwork. And it's just 3 days. And there's simple stuff that every tennis player needs to be working on. And it's geared towards adults, okay, not juniors. So a 3-day Move Like a Pro Footwork Challenge is going to help you start to automate this stuff so that your feet just naturally move to the right place. And I can tell you, you definitely need this, because everybody who comes out to my camps, when I have them do footwork exercises, I hate to tell you this as an adult tennis player, it is one of the most awkward phases of the camp. No one looks natural doing it. They look confused. They don't look like they're enjoying it much, even though they know they need it. Everybody would agree, like, well, that's so funny. One of the biggest complaints is always when I hear someone miss a shot, it's either move your feet or stop being lazy. And then when we really get into, well, how much are you actually moving your feet and working on your footwork and doing shadow stroke movement exercises and simulating point play to get in the right spot, it's very apparent they don't do it at all. Yet they're going to tell and yell at themselves to move their feet. It doesn't work that way. So sign up for my 3-day Move Like a Pro Footwork Challenge so you can start automating this stuff. So once you have the knowledge, your body can then naturally start to apply it. So you start to play in a flow. So you start to be in the right spot, hitting the right shot on autopilot. That's what the pros do all day long. Go find me one pro who's not working on their footwork. Go find one and bring them back to me. But I can just reach into any club in America and just pick out swarms of adult tennis players who wish that they moved well and aren't working on their footwork. Don't let that be you. Like this video, we'll see you on the next one.